How we doing today, YouTube? D-Ski from D-Ski Grills here, back with another cooking tutorial. And today, we're doing T-bone steaks. This is a value pack. I got this from Tom Thumb. I wasn't even shopping for steaks. I was actually shopping just for some other items. I was going to get some chicken and some other things on my grocery list. Went down the meat aisle and saw these things half off, okay? So, long story short, this 3-pack was regularly 46 bucks. I got it for $24. So whether you're eating steak or not, whether it's on your list or not, you gotta jump on it. So I did that. So what we have here is actually 3 steaks that equal 4 pounds, total 4 pounds. These are at least 2 inches thick. I'm looking forward to cooking these and showing you guys my next awesome thing that I can't wait to share with you. And I talked about it in a previous review about the Weber Sear Grate. So been waiting to have an opportunity. We made it through the Thanksgiving holidays, so the turkey's all eaten up and the ham is all gone, and time to get to some good old beef eating, right? So this is the Weber Sear Grate that I'm going to put on my Weber Summit charcoal grill. So this will be the first cook I've done using this Sear Grate, so I'm looking forward to that. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is take you down to the cutting board, show you how we're going to season these up. They're going to be really simple. Basic salt, pepper, might add a touch of cayenne or red pepper, something of that nature. But the main thing is you want the flavor of the beef. So I don't want to dull the flavor of the beef by adding a whole lot of different things to it. I want the flavor of this T-bone to come out. And I really can't wait to see how it looks with these Sear Grates, these beautiful marks that's going to be on here. So we'll take you next down to the cutting board. I'm going to let this sit right now and rest and get up to room temperature. Next thing you see will be us at the cutting board getting these things seasoned up. We'll let them rest on the cutting board afterwards. Then I'll head out and get the grill going while they're resting. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy the cook. So we're up to the seasoning portion of this tutorial. And the items we'll be using today will be the Killer Hogs AP rub. We'll be using a little crushed red pepper flakes, a little bit of the sea salt, and just the reason it's a little bit is because again the AP rub is an all-purpose rub, which is a mixture of salt, pepper, and garlic. So don't want to go too heavy on the salt. So we'll go light with the sea salt. And finally, our binder will be our olive oil. So what I'm doing now is just adding a little olive oil on the first side of the T-bones, as you can see. And I like to rub that in, make sure I have a nice coat on the side. Okay, and from there we start hitting it with our rubs. So we'll hit it with the AP rub first, and it does come out well, so you gotta watch it, you know. And if I feel like I go too heavy on this, I'll just pass up using the salt. Matter of fact, let's say that right now. We're gonna pass up on using the salt and just go with this AP rub. This stuff smells so good, it's crazy. Okay, hit it with the AP rub, good dose of that. And that's a nice coat. Okay, get that closed up. Come back with our red crushed pepper flakes. And we're just kind of dousing it with that. And everyone in the house can handle the heat, so we can do that with no problem. Okay, so that's what we got on that side there. No need to pat anything in because you put on the binder, so it is holding on. Flip those babies over. And we will do it again on the other side. Okay, so we're outside today hanging out with the Weber Summit, and we're about to get our steaks on the grill. Right now they're in there coming up to room temperature like we discussed on the prep side of it. So the AP rub like we talked about and the red pepper have been added. The olive oil was used as a binder. So as these things are coming up to temperature, next thing up is to get our grill up to temperature, get it ready, and add our searing grate. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, so let's get our fire started. The last cook I did on the Weber Summit was a indirect cooked. So as you can see from the camera view right now, my grill grate is at the lower section. That is again used for when you're doing low and slow cooks. And I'll show you real fast before we go into the next step. So it's used for low and slow cooks when you don't want that direct heat, and that's when you use this diffuser plate. So this is a little kind of dirty, so forgive me, but this is, you'll get the intent. The diffuser plate sits here, and then before that, of course, your charcoal is down at the bottom here. All right, so you fill this thing up, and if you're doing a low and slow, 14 hours, 20 hours, whatever it is, you can fill your charcoal up to this limit right here, and do the minion type method, right? So you start it either dead in the middle and let it work its way out to light up all the outside coals, or start it on one side and let it work its way over. So either or, your preference. Now also you have an igniter that came with the Weber Summit grilling center that you can just push a button and it will start it up for you itself. So depends on what your preference is. So again, think about this for low and slow. It is full with charcoal because you've poured it all in. Now charcoal's full to this point, so you can get a lot of charcoal in here. All right, I'll let you see my hand, kind of get an idea of how deep it is. Okay, so we're talking 6-7 inches, easy. You would fill that up, add the diffuser plate, okay? And you know, of course, once the charcoal ash is over, now you can add whatever. I usually add a drip pan right here. That's why this area is clean. And then whatever I'm cooking on, I'll have my grate right here, and it's cooking low and slow and just coming out great. Now, the reason I brought up the grill grate is because you have different levels. So for high heat searing, you just bring this up, and now you place it right on top, which is about 4 inches away from the grill. So this is how you can get this high heat and beautiful sear marks. All right, so let's get this thing started real quick. And what I'm going to use to start it is just a regular starter cube, which I'll place right here. We'll get that started. And I use the trusty chimney. So we'll seat our chimney right on top of that. We'll come back in about 15-20 minutes, and we should be good to go from there. So I've added the Sear Grate, and we'll close the lid and let that warm up. So another key benefit of the Weber Summit is the rapid fire type top, or if you will, it's you can open it up. You can either regulate your heat low or slow, right, by moving the dampers one way or another, or if you need fast, let's get hot quick type temps, and this is high heat cooking, which we're doing today, then you open up the damper to get to the temperature you want. I'll let that stay there for a little bit and just let you guys watch for a few seconds while I go get the steaks at how this temp just starts moving up, and it'll be up to 400 degrees before you know it.
Okay, YouTube, so we're back, and as you can see, the grill made it up to 400 degrees. What I'm doing now is closing the rapid fire function of the Weber Summit and just leaving it wide open so I can still get the high heat. So you see the Weber Sear Grate is smoking hot, ready for that steak to hit it. It's at 400 degrees. It's been preheating for 10 minutes. So now it's time to enjoy that beautiful sizzle sound. So what's next? We're going to let the steak just sit right there on that side and not move it and leave it there for 4 minutes on one side. Then we'll flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. So the 4 minute is all about building that, searing that meat and making sure the juices are locked in. Okay, YouTube, it's been 4 minutes. Now it's time to turn this baby over and see what she looks like. Look at that there. Look at those beautiful sear marks. Are you hungry or what? So what's next is to leave it on this side for 4 minutes as well. After that 4 minutes, it is time to take this one off and get started on the next one. I am so excited. I'm really liking this Weber Sear Grate. Seems like it will be what I use going forward to get those perfect sear marks. I'm pushing this down just a little bit to make sure I get a nice mark on that end as well. So it'll rest here, like I said, for 4 more minutes. Then that one will come off and we will add the next one. Okay, YouTube, our three steaks have been seared, and now we are up to indirect cooking. My family has different preferences when it comes to how they like their steaks. So what I'm going to do now is move the char baskets over to the left, put the steaks to the right, and let them cook indirect until the desired doneness is in place. My wife, for instance, loves her steaks well done. I'm more of a medium well type guy, and my children are the same. So that's the next step of this process. You see I'm adding the grate back after moving the sear baskets over to the left, and then I'll start adding the steaks. And then we'll close the grill up again and let it cook on the indirect side until it reaches the desired temperature. Well, the final step of this process is to now adjust my dampers down because I'm not doing any more high heat cooking. All I want to do now is reach my internal temperature for the steaks. So I'm turning the damper down to where the grill will be leveled around 200 degrees. Next thing you'll see is the steaks on the cutting board. Okay, YouTube, we are at the last segment of this video and we're about to cut into one of these T-bones. I have to say that this cook went well. It was about 30 minutes total. We did 4 minutes on each side for the three steaks. And now we're cutting in and I want you to see how nice and juicy these T-bones turned out. As always, I want to thank you for joining my channel and watching this video. If you like what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And don't forget, at D-Ski Grills, grilling is not a pastime, it's a passion. You enjoy the rest of your day, YouTube.